So both the Boruto anime and manga are currently on hiatus, and while the Boruto manga is slated to return on August or in August or September, depending on when the issue is releasing, the Boruto anime is much more ambiguous, but the only information we know is that Boruto Part 2 is being worked on. Welcome everyone, Sanji Uchiha here. Welcome back to the channel, and it's been a while since I've actually done a Boruto discussion or a Boruto video, given the hiatus. But here we are all the same, trying to start the weekend off the right way. And funny enough, today, at least as of this recording, May 19, 2023, it would have either been today or tomorrow that Boruto Manga Chapter 81 would have dropped if the manga wasn't currently on hiatus. So it is what it is. We got to wait until August, September, thereabouts. But yeah, I hope to have a nice casual discussion with you guys, because you see the title of the video. As casual as this discussion is going to be, as per usual on this channel, it's a very big topic, I would say. So let's get into it. So context, or at least the foundation of this discussion for the persons who aren't really caught up to the Boruto manga, and of course by extension spoilers, so bear that in mind. So getting into it, so one of the new generation characters, right, Eida, and I don't know if she falls into the category of antagonist or protagonist. Well, obviously not protagonist given the name of the story, right? But yeah, she's currently on Konoha's side, quote unquote. But yeah, she's one of the new generation characters, right? And she possesses the ridiculous ability known as Omnipotence. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Omnipotence. Yes. Anyway, she possesses the ability of Omnipotence. And for those of you who, at the very least, I would have imagined, watch all the way up to the, Boruto Naruto the movie, you should be aware of who Momoshiki Otsutsuki is. Now, Momoshiki Otsutsuki defines it in many ways, but at the core of it, he does describe the ability as the ability to make anything reality. Anything is possible with the ability. So yeah, you can manifest your desires and all that. You can just generate $1 billion, no problem, So yeah, that's the interesting part. And that kind of brings us over to Kawaki, one of the characters that's, a lot of the persons are actually watching Boruto to see, or have been watching Boruto for, to be quite honest with you. So Kawaki currently has the goal of wanting to kill Boruto Uzumaki, because he fears that Naruto's son, Boruto Uzumaki, who's currently more or less possessed by Momoshiki Otsutsuki, he fears that Momoshiki is going to eventually take over Boruto's body and kill his new, found, father, Naruto Uzumaki, and destroy everything that he has come to learn to love in the recent months, or at least I would say maximum a year, that Kawaki has been in the village, hidden in the leaves. But the problem that Kawaki has is that he views Boruto as a brother, and he does acknowledge that even the idea of killing Boruto to save, the village and everything, Naruto included, and everything Naruto loves, it would still be a difficult situation for him, because everybody in the village would kind of turn against him. It would be difficult to actually execute that, since Konoha is on his side as well. Apart from, I view you as a brother. No. Kawaki, in his desire to kill Boruto, kinda wishes Boruto was an outsider just like him, somebody who's from outside the village, who just kinda came in, and who potentially nobody wouldn't really bat an eye at if he actually died. And channeling this desire, Eida unintentionally channels Kawaki's desire through her ability of Omnipotence, unintentionally of course, and switches Boruto and Kawaki's their shared memories to everybody else, causing them to essentially switch places. So Kawaki is now Kawaki Uzumaki, the son of Naruto, who cheated in the exams, who went with Sasuke and the other Kage to rescue Naruto from Momoshiki and Kinshiki, while Boruto, on the other hand, is now an outsider. He's now the person who came to Konoha from the organization known as Kara, and who has seemingly killed Naruto Uzumaki. So that is the context for all of this video, right? Now, the interesting part in all of that is that during the events of the last few chapters, where all of these events are actually going down, right, Momoshiki Otsutsuki brings up what I would even say a rhetorical question to Boruto while he's explaining how omnipotence works to him. And he basically says, yo, rhetorically speaking, how many times do you think an Otsutsuki has, like, altered the shared memories of humanity? Because that's the thing, as I was saying, this usage of omnipotence works by affecting everybody's shared memories of who Boruto and Kawaki were, or are, essentially. And of course, based on what Momoshiki is saying, an Otsutsuki in the past has obviously messed with the memories of humanity before. Now, of course, he doesn't give a timeline per se, but at the same time, no matter where in the timeline it is, it obviously would create a domino effect all the way down to the 700 chapters of the Naruto manga that we all, loved and read. And if that is the case, that means the story of Naruto is more or less built on a lie or an altered reality. I'm not talking about like some multiverse thing, but at least the fact that all of humanity's memories have been altered in the past, seemingly, or based on what Momoshiki is implying to Boruto multiple times. So now you have to really question, was what we read built on a lie? No, you have to look at it that way. And I know I'm not saying it's a throwaway line, but I could probably see somebody like reading that like, oh, okay, interesting, and not really dig too deep. But if you even think about it for like 5 seconds, a minute, give or take, you'll have to reevaluate the whole story of Naruto, right? Because at the end of the day, if it's built on a lie, then obviously it's too big of a line, too big of an implication to me personally for Kishimoto not to go back and revisit an event or some event within the story of Naruto's 700 chapters. No, I'm not saying from back then, obviously Kishimoto wouldn't have been planning that far ahead for this, but he could probably go back and exploit some loose bit of the 700 chapters to tie back in this tidbit he's crafting now with omnipotence and Otsutsuki's changing the memories of humanity in the past. And it kind of brings me back to my, I wouldn't say what if, but this is just a casual fun conversation, kind of just food for thought. Let's kind of stir up something in the community while we're all on hiatus for Boruto content specifically. It brings me to the fate of the Uzumaki clan, right? Now, back in Naruto, around chapter maybe 499, 500, when Naruto was training to control the Nine Tails, when he was getting his initial QB chakra mode, and he finally met his mother, right? And we were getting the backstory regarding the birth of Naruto. And of course, we did get some backstory on Kushina as well, that she was brought from the land of Eddies, from the village, the hidden Eddie village. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it should be that. Just bear with me here. So we got information that she was brought from the hidden Eddie village to the land of Eddies to actually become the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, the new Jinchuriki. But what was interesting, that she also noted that the swirly symbol on most Konoha shinobi's jackets, of course the symbol on Naruto's back with the the swirls, I'll probably put it on screen. It is the symbol of her village, basically, where the Uzumaki clan are from, and that the the Senju and the Uzumaki clan, well, yeah, the Senju of Konoha and the Uzumaki clan of the hidden Eddie village were actually distant relatives, essentially, and that Konoha and their village were essentially like comrades in arms, give or take. The fact that Konoha ninja wear their symbol is like a symbol of their friendship, essentially. But Kushina would go on to state that, okay, yeah, during the time of war, the village was destroyed and everything, and that's it. We don't ever hear within any other portion of the story of, oh, there was some effort by Konoha to actually help out the Uzumaki clan, to help look for survivors, relief effort for the Uzumaki clan. Nothing, for the fact that we're friends, seemingly, that just seemed odd to me. And I will say, disclaimer, obviously this is just a casual discussion here, so I'm just kind of trying to spark something in the community. It could be like similar to like how the Senju clan just they were the leaders of the village and we're all the Senju. It could be a same situation like that, and be more of a real world factor of Kishimoto just not really going in depth with it. Probably just a fault of his, but that's the boring the boring way to think about it. For now, I'm kind of thinking that maybe an Otsutsuki was involved some way, somehow with the Uzumaki clan, and it was through the state or the era of wars, which, you know, it could be the first, second, third Great Ninja War. It could even be the time, the War in State Spear, where, you know, Madara and Hashirama are famous from. We don't know exactly, but Kushina just says the village was, you know, destroyed by war because everybody feared the sealing jutsu and everything. But what if an Otsutsuki was somehow involved in the mix and used omnipotence to actually, you know, even though Konoha still wear the symbol, maybe something was twisted in the memories of Konoha, and that's why we don't really see them making an effort or ever make an effort to say, oh, that we're gonna look for survivors, we're gonna try bring relief to this village where we're friends with, or anything like that. I'm wondering if it's a case like that. Maybe the Uzumaki were onto something regarding the Otsutsuki, and that's really the basis of why maybe an Otsutsuki in the past may have actually used omnipotence to kind of turn the rest of the nations against the Uzumaki clan, essentially. Now, yes, of course, there is the fear of their jutsu, essentially, but it just seems, it seems too easy, you know? It seems too easy. So I'm kind of putting that idea out there that's a possibility. And who knows, maybe the Uzumaki clan being onto something where the Otsutsuki are concerned, it was probably just never revealed, could be a thing. And by extension, there is still that theory of the two or maybe one missing Otsutsuki based on the dimension that the Ten Tails is currently in, the code that Sasuke visited, and you had that section where, you know, you could touch the I guess the glyphs, hieroglyphs, or whatever on the symbols on the wall to bring up projections of Otsutsuki. And of course, we had Momoshiki, Kinshiki, Ishiki, and Kage, but there were some symbols that weren't really, they were kind of faded, essentially, which kind of led to the theory that they are missing Otsutsuki that are here. So I think my big brain theory is that an Otsutsuki was somehow involved with the Uzumaki clan, or the Uzumaki clan was onto something regarding the Otsutsuki, and maybe that Otsutsuki used omnipotence to turn the rest of the world against them. No, I know it's an Otsutsuki, so maybe they wouldn't really need that type of help, but who knows, not all Otsutsuki aren't created equal, apparently. So it could have been a situation like that, and it might be tied to why we still haven't seen these missing Otsutsuki, quote unquote. Now, apart from that wild theory and the fact that, you know, the story could be a lie and all of that, why would that really matter in this day and age as we go forward with the Boruto story? Now, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but the fact that we could potentially revisit a lot of the portions of the Naruto story in terms of unraveling and revealing the true history, it could really create a stronger link between the Naruto and the Boruto side of the franchise. And I know Boruto is a continuation, spin-off, sequel of Naruto, but we could still get a bit more investment in the story. And what better way to do it than say, oh, Boruto, we're gonna use Boruto as a character, as a vehicle to actually revisit portions of history that weren't true, that might be tied to his heritage as an Uzumaki, and really, you know, unravel the truth for persons who have been watching this franchise for all this time, you know. Because, for example, it might not exactly be the same thing, but I mean, when we found out Itachi wasn't necessarily evil, it kind of, it's like, oh shit, we're gonna find out the truth, we're gonna explore all these things. But it kind of feels like that on a bigger scale, if you ask me. And it would be interesting to kind of revisit portions of history that were based on a lie and unravel the truth. It would be an interesting opportunity for us to explore that through the vehicle of Boruto as a character, and seeing how his character would really, you know, fit into that. And of course, Boruto currently is on the run from the village with Sasuke, so he's essentially a rogue ninja. So we still have Sasuke, a character who's been in those 700 chapters to actually potentially experience or unravel the truth, so to speak, as well. So, you know, possibilities are endless there, right? honestly speaking. So yo, anything can happen. Anything can happen. It would really create that engagement with the story even more so than it is right now, which is crazy to think. And I think it would be an awesome move, honestly. Even if my wild Uzumaki clan thing isn't like like a thing, but I'm just saying, even just the idea of the Naruto story just being based on altered memories, essentially. It's the potential is there for a lot of things to actually take place and happen when it comes on to Boruto and Sasuke through their, well, probably not even Boruto and Sasuke, because I would imagine if Kishimoto decides to explore all of this, that this probably like way after the time skip, maybe, even though during the time skip training it would be an interesting time to really explore that, maybe, because of course Momoshiki is there with them. So possibilities, honestly speaking. But anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough. Let me know what you guys think of the possibility of the Naruto story just being based on a lie, or it just being one of the dominoes that were tumbled down from history, our memories being changed way in the past of humanity, because of course everything would be coming from that point in time. And honestly, if you were to go back and change that back to how it was, the Naruto story in some shape or form would have had to change, honestly speaking. So that's the interesting part. I'm really interested in seeing how, if Kishimoto decides to really explore it and not just leave it where it is, that, yo, bro, I'll be tuned in, like having Boruto just revisit back some portions of the Naruto story. And I'm not necessarily saying like time travel, you know, probably just, I don't know. Me not know. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about my thoughts or just discussion overall here. I think it's interesting, and it could really throw the story in a very engaging and interactive direction, because again, you could bring in back more of the persons who were invested in the Naruto story to really come back and, you know, see what was the truth. Granted, again, it could be a situation where like you get the truth and it just messes up the entire Naruto story for the worse, and persons hate Boruto even more. But I mean, it should be fun finding out all the same. So yeah. Anyway, Sanjay Uchiha here, guys. Let me know what you think. Of course, leave a like, subscribe. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are doing great, honestly. And you know, start of the weekend, go out, have a drink, chillax with friends and family, or just kick it at home. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.